My people, sometimes silence is better, but other times silence becomes dangerous. When those who caused great pain begin to speak lies, it is our duty to speak the truth. This is IGBO AREA TV, and today we must talk. We must talk about General Yakubu Gowon, just like Senator May has said, and the painful lie Gowon just told on national TV.
Well, I listened to Gowon's interview with Charles Nagolo of Arise News. That's a television. That's why I said it should come. I listened to him, and I felt so sorry with the things he said. The reason being that at 91 years of age, I shouldn't be joining issues with him. But I remember that when Babangida launched his book and made revelations in that his book, I was on television again, I think it was Arise News, to speak on the fallout of that book launch, wherein I challenged Gowon to write his own book about the Civil War. Because Babangida stated clearly that the coup wasn't an Igbo coup. The Igbo people have suffered gravely because of that coup. A coup that was plotted to bring Awolowo out of prison and make him president of Nigeria. The actors had written their books, and that was their common program. And the coup didn't succeed. And the Igbos have been put to the wall because of it. I felt that with Babangida's clear statement that it wasn't an Igbo coup, and he named Yorubas and Northerners that were part of that coup, it was a big relief to me, and I challenged Gowon to write his own book so Nigerians will read. So I was therefore disappointed that yesterday he granted an interview which showed the sign of dementia on his part. At 91, he appeared to have forgotten the things that happened. But some of us who worked with Ojukwu and interviewed him and got the records of what happened at that time disagree with all the things he said. One is that it was a big lie for him to say that the war was not against the Igbo people of Nigeria. What can be further from the truth? I thought by now we should be apologizing to the Igbo people for the role he played in that civil war. Instead of coming here to challenge our sensibilities, that at least not challenging, insulting our sensibilities, that the war was not against the Igbos. Who were the victims of the war? The counter-coup was a cleansing of the Igbo officers in the Nigerian army. Igbo officers, he couldn't say those who were killed from his own Plateau state or part of Nigeria in the counter-coup. He couldn't say that. So it was a reprisal coup against the Igbos, and the Igbos were not only killed as military officers, their businesses were destroyed across Nigeria. And the Aburi Accord, which he has misrepresented in his interview, is the greatest travesty. One was that I worked with Ojukwu for 5 years, and I asked him questions about these things, and including Aburi Accord. He told me that at Aburi, they all agreed to confederation. Confederation means that the regions will become confederate states, and every region will continue to develop at its own pace. That is the essence of the meaning of confederation. And when they agreed on all this, that General Ankara carried himself, General Ankara and Gowon and Ojukwu were at the back of the same car when they were being taken to the airport. And that Ankara took Gowon's hand and Ojukwu's hand, put them together, and said that they should go and implement the agreements of this Aburi. And he told Gowon right there, Ojukwu said he told Gowon that if Gowon gets home and announces the agreements reached here, that he will be the first person to propose Gowon as the head of state of Nigeria. And when they all left, they came back to Nigeria. They went by, Gowon didn't announce anything. He didn't address the nation on what they agreed in Aburi. In Gowon's account yesterday, I was shocked to hear him say that when he returned, he had malaria. And because he had fever, he delayed his announcing the agreements reached in Aburi. So at his age, he didn't need to start lying. When he came back, his advisors told him to renege on all the things agreed in Aburi. So it was Gowon who plunged the country into that civil war. It was because he refused to announce the agreements reached in Aburi. Ojukwu waited for him, and things were not getting better. And Ojukwu now, I don't even think that he made a formal broadcast. He leaked the agreements reached in Aburi, and he was still waiting on Gowon to do the needful. Gowon now said that if Ojukwu had not said the things agreed in Aburi, that there wouldn't be anyone, that he would have said the same thing by himself, but if not for malaria that he was suffering from. So I think he has not done what he should be doing at this late stage of his life. It is time for him to begin to speak the truth, to heal the wounds of that war. Everybody has moved on. The war is 55 years today that it ended. But to come back at 91 years of age and tell these obvious lies means that he is not thinking about how to live Nigeria in peace. He said he fought for Nigeria to be one. That's what he said. That the reason for fighting the Civil War was to keep Nigeria as one. Is Nigeria one today? Nigeria is not one today. The president was in Benue yesterday, where people of his own zone are being slaughtered on a daily basis in the past years. So what has he done to make Nigeria a better country? So I think that I still challenge him again to write his own truthful account of what happened in Nigeria under his watch, so that truth is an open word, conscience is an open word, only the truth will heal it. So he should stop running around. Let him come out boldly.
Did you hear that? After 55 years, he said the war wasn't against the Igbo. Tell that to millions of mothers who buried their children. Tell that to the men who were stripped of their jobs, lands, and dignity. Tell that to those who ate rats and 3 bags to survive. Let us be clear. The 1966 counter-coup was not just a political reaction. It was a cleansing of Igbo officers in the army. And outside the army, hundreds were killed because they were Igbo. The 1966 pogrom, do you want us to talk about it? After that, in cities across the north, Igbo civilians were slaughtered in markets, in homes, in the streets, and nobody was punished. So when Gowon says the war wasn't against the Igbo, we must ask, then who was it against? Let's talk about Aburi Accord. It was our last hope for peace. Ojukwu and Gowon traveled to Ghana. They agreed, let each region develop freely. Let Nigeria become true federation. Ojukwu came back with hope, even promised to support Gowon as head of state if he implemented the deal. But what did Gowon do? He said he had malaria. That's why he didn't announce the agreement. Malaria. Instead of keeping the peace, Gowon let war happen. They brought war against Igbo. Millions died, even though he's trying to cover up the guns were touching the palm fronts. Can you imagine? Children starved. The nation bled. All because he refused to honor his word. After the war, the Igbos tried to rebuild. But guess what Gowon's government did again after the war? They said all Igbo bank accounts, no matter how much, are now worth only 20 pounds. So he carried on with the war. Despite he talked about reconciliation, then why? What about these monies? So even if you had thousands, you were given just 20 pounds. Was that not economic war? After the war of guns and the other, then economic war. Our businesses were gone. Our savings were gone. Hope gone. And who helped him? He brought Chief Awolowo as finance minister. Instead of unity, they used policies to punish the East. They brought another war, economic way. For over 50 years, Gowon said nothing. He didn't write a book. He didn't offer healing. He didn't apologize. Just like Senator Ume said, now at 91 years old, he goes onto TV and tells a painful lie. My people, if he cannot speak the truth, he should remain silent. Just Ume said, let him stop insulting our sensibilities. And even before Ojukwu died, he gave his own account. Books were written, stories were told. Gowon did not counter it. Gowon is expected to speak, or let history judge him in silence. Or look at what he's muttering. He said if he fought to keep Nigerians one. Can you imagine? But what is Nigeria today? Is Nigeria one? Herdsmen killing in the east and in the middle belt. Terrorism in the north. Ethnic hatred and marginalization everywhere. Now, if this is the Nigerian he fought for, then he did not fight for unity. He fought for control. Yes. We are not asking for revenge, no. We are not calling for war. We are simply saying, tell the truth. Write your book. Say sorry. Say sorry. Say sorry. That is what many have been expecting. Say sorry. Because if the truth dies with you and you guys that are still alive, the wounds may not heal. This is IGBO AREA TV. We speak not with bitterness, but with memory. We speak not to divide, but to remind. General Gowon, before you leave this world, please tell the truth. I remember the other day, Middle Belt people gathered to apologize to the Igbo. They know that they did something wrong. Gowon, avoid such meetings. Gowon, say the truth, for only the truth shall set Nigeria free. I'm out of here.